Hello students, in this video we will be studying about internal resistance of a cell, potential difference and EMF of a cell, and the combination of cells in series and parallel. So the very first topic is internal resistance of a cell. As you know, resistance is the obstruction to the flow of current. Now, what is the internal resistance? It is the obstruction to the flow of current when current flows through a cell, and it is provided by the electrolyte of the cell. So how will we define it? It is defined as the resistance offered by the electrolyte of the cell to the flow of current through it. It is denoted by small r and its unit is ohm. Now the factors on which the internal resistance depends: number 1, it is directly proportional to the distance between the electrodes. Means if the electrodes are far apart, the internal resistance of the cell will be high. It is inversely proportional to the area of the electrodes immersed in the electrolyte. So more the area of the electrodes immersed in the electrolyte, smaller will be the resistance. Third, it depends on nature, concentration and temperature of the electrolyte and increases with increase in concentration. Now, why does it increase with increase in concentration? Because as you know, in an electrolyte, the flow of current is because of the motion of the cations and anions. If the concentration will be high, then the motion will be slow and it will increase the internal resistance. Whereas if we increase the temperature, it will decrease the interionic force of attraction as well as the viscosity of the electrolyte, and the internal resistance of the cell will decrease. Now the next topic is terminal potential difference. The terminal potential difference is the potential drop across the terminals of a cell in a closed circuit. Whenever we draw current from a cell, then the potential difference between its positive and negative terminal is termed as terminal potential difference. It is denoted by capital V and it is measured in volt. The next term is EMF. Now the EMF is the maximum potential difference between the terminals of a cell in an open circuit. EMF is also a potential difference, but when we keep the circuit open, that is when no current is drawn from the circuit. These two figures will elaborate the concept. In figure A, you can see we have taken a cell of EMF E with internal resistance R, and it is connected across an external resistance capital R. A voltmeter is connected in parallel to the cell. The similar setup is there in figure B, but what is the difference? In figure A, the key is closed, the circuit is closed and the current is flowing. In this case, the reading of voltmeter will give the value of the terminal potential difference, whereas in figure B, when the circuit is open, the measurement of the potential difference, the reading of the voltmeter will give the value of the EMF of the cell. We can define EMF in one more way also, and what is that? It is the total work done by the cell in carrying a charge along the closed circuit. Means if we consider a unit positive charge at the positive terminal, then the total work done to move the charge from this positive terminal to the negative terminal plus from the negative terminal to the positive terminal will be termed as EMF, whereas the terminal potential difference will be equal to the work done in moving the charge across the or from the external resistance capital R only. So in this way the value of EMF will be larger will be greater than the value of the terminal potential difference. The next topic is relation between EMF, potential difference and internal resistance of the cell. Now, EMF of the cell, as I have just discussed, it is equal to the total work done in carrying unit positive charge from A to B against external resistance plus the work done in carrying unit charge from B to A against internal resistance small r. So, E will be equal to V plus V dash. Here V is the terminal potential difference and V dash is the potential drop across the terminals of a cell. Now, using Ohm's law, V will be equal to I into capital R, where R is the external resistance and V dash is equal to I into small r, where small r is the internal resistance. So above equation becomes, after substituting the values of V and V dash, E is equal to I bracket R plus small r bracket closed, and current will be equal to E upon R plus small r. From here we can have the value of terminal potential difference V is equal to I into capital R, and in terms of EMF, external resistance and internal resistance, its value will be ER upon R plus small r. Further, we can also write V is equal to E minus IR and R will be equal to E minus V upon I. And again, on substituting value of I, we get the value of internal resistance small r in terms of EMF, terminal potential difference and external resistance capital R. Now, some special cases: if no current flows through the circuit, that is when the circuit is open, then I will be 0, and from equation 2 you can see V becomes equal to E, that is the terminal potential difference becomes equal to EMF in an open circuit, and this was the definition which was taught to you earlier by me. What was that? EMF is the maximum potential difference across the terminals of a cell when the circuit is open, that is when no current flows through the circuit. Now, from equation 2 you can also have an idea that, or you can guess that, the value of the terminal potential difference will be less than the value of EMF. Why? Because for a real cell there will definitely be a value of internal resistance. It will be definitely having some internal resistance, so V will be less than E. But V is not always less than EMF. During charging of a cell, the charger is connected to the positive terminal of the cell and the negative terminal of the charger is connected to the negative terminal of the cell. In this case, the current flows from positive terminal to the negative terminal of the cell and the terminal potential difference becomes greater than the EMF of the cell. Now, switching over to next topic, the combination of cells in series. Here I have taken two cells of EMFs E1 and E2 and internal resistances small r1 and r2, which are connected in series. In series means the negative terminal of one cell is connected to the positive terminal of the another, and the negative terminal of the second cell will be connected to the positive terminal of the third cell. Here, for simplicity, I have taken two cells, and later on I will generalize the result. If I want to have an equivalent EMF and equivalent resistance for this combination of cell, the procedure is very simple. I take 3 points A, B and C. So the potential difference across the cell 1 having EMF E1 will be equal to VA minus VB, and just now we have just studied that the potential difference is equal to EMF minus the product of the current flowing through the cell and its internal resistance. So VAB will be equal to E1 minus IR1. Similarly, VBC that is VB minus VC will be equal to E2 minus IR2. Now VAC, as you can see, if I want to find the potential difference between points A and C, I can write it like the sum of VA minus VB and VB minus VC. Substituting these values, I'll be getting E1 plus E2 minus I R1 plus R2. Equating this relation with the general form of the relation between terminal potential difference and EMF, I will get VAC is equal to E equivalent minus I R equivalent, where E equivalent is the equivalent EMF of the cell, a single cell, which we can replace with the given combination of the two cells, and R equivalent is its total equivalent internal resistance. So from here we can write E equivalent is equal to E1 plus E2, whereas R equivalent will be equal to R1 plus R2. So for n cells, first I'll discuss another case. If we connect the negative terminal of the first cell to the negative terminal of the another cell, then the VBC will be becoming equal to minus E2 minus IR2, and E equivalent will become E1 minus E2, whereas R equivalent will remain same. The questions have been asked on this concept, that's why I have specially mentioned this concept also. Now the above result of equivalent EMF can be generalized for n cells. Suppose we are having n cells of EMFs E1, E2, E3 and En, and internal resistances R1, R2, R3 and Rn across external resistance capital R. For simplicity, if we assume the EMF and internal resistance of each cell to be same, then E equivalent will become equal to N into E, and R equivalent will be becoming equal to N into R, where N is the number of cells. The current flowing through it will be equal to the total EMF divided by the total resistance, that is total internal resistance plus external resistance. Now here I want you to find the condition that when will be you able to find the maximum current, when will be you able to get the maximum current from the series combination of cells. Now the parallel combination of cells. For simplicity, I assume two cells of EMFs E1 and E2, internal resistances R1 and R2 respectively, connected in parallel as shown in figure. Let I1 be the current flowing through cell of EMF E1, whereas I2 is the current flowing through cell of EMF E2. Using Kirchhoff's junction rule, the value of I will be equal to I1 plus I2. I assume that you know the statement of Kirchhoff's junction rule, that is the sum of currents entering a junction should be equal to the sum of currents leaving a junction. Now the points B1 and B2 are common to both the cells, so the potential difference between these two cells will be equal to VB1 minus VB2. If we consider for the first cell, its value will be equal to E1 minus I1 R1, and for the second cell its value will be equal to E2 minus I2 R2. From these two equations we can have the value of I1 and I2. So the total current will be equal to the sum of I1 plus I1 and I2. Substituting these values, we will be having I is equal to E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2 minus V will be common, bracket 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2. Solving these and shifting V to left and I to the right of the equation, we will be getting the equation V bracket R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2 bracket close equal to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 R2 minus I. Further shifting the term R1 plus R2 divided by R1 R2 towards the right side of the equation, we will be getting this. Now it is similar to the equation. Just recall, V is equal to E minus IR. So here E equivalent will be equal to E1 R2 plus E2 R1 divided by R1 plus R2, whereas R equivalent will be equal to R1 R2 divided by R1 plus R2. It is somewhat complicated, so we can make it more simpler. If I divide E equivalent with R equivalent, you can check it. The term R1 plus R2 will be cancelled and we will be left with E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2, whereas R equivalent is similar to the parallel combination, or it is same as that of the value of the parallel combination of the two resistances. Now if we consider n cells, here I am considering n cells. If I consider n cells, then the generalized formula will be E equivalent upon R equivalent will be equal to E1 upon R1 plus E2 upon R2 and so on En upon Rn, whereas R equivalent will be equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 and so on 1 upon Rn. If we consider the EMFs and internal resistances of the cells to be equal, then E equivalent will be coming equal to E, whereas the parallel combination of the cells will give us effective total internal resistance R upon N. And the current, as you know, the current in the circuit is given by EMF divided by total resistance, and total resistance is equal to external resistance plus total internal resistance, that is I will be equal to E upon capital R plus R upon N. Here also I would like you to find out the condition for the maximum current through the parallel combination of cells. Now we have finished the topics and it's time to judge whether you have understood or not. So this assignment is given to you to check your understanding, and I will provide you the link also so that you can download it from that link. Thank you.